Welcome to lesson two, house flipping 101, mindset of a successful flipper. All right, welcome to the journey of transformation. Discover the mindset needed to thrive in house flipping, learn to conquer fear, embrace risk, and stay disciplined. These principles will guide you through success, right? I felt this was needed because a large part of being a real estate investor has to do with your mindset. And if your mindset is not calibrated correctly, you're going to freeze and think that everything needs to be perfect before you get started, or you're going to be fearful, which we want to, which both will make you freeze. All right. So what we want to do is we want to calibrate your mind so you're moving correctly with the proper information, the proper mentorship, and the proper guidance. So let's get started. Facing fear head on. Education and preparation. Knowledge is your shield against uncertainty. Equip yourself with market insight. So, one of the things that I was sharing is when I first started flipping, I definitely didn't know everything, but I definitely had resources at my disposal, one of which was my title guy. I knew I could call him up and he'd be able to guide me in regards to the title work. And when in regards to construction, I did not have anybody. So I utilized YouTube to make sure that the contractors that were coming to my job site were giving me a product that was accurate, good, and also wouldn't come back to bite me in the butt. Luckily for you guys, you do not have to do that. I will be your guide because I have the construction background to be able to kind of share that with you to eliminate that fear. All right. Networking and mentorship guidance from experienced flippers is invaluable. Their wisdom can illuminate your path. One of the biggest things that I installed in my construction company and everything that I do is called a lessons learned meeting. And the reason we do that is it's a full, transparent download on how the transaction went. How did it go well? Did it didn't go well? What are the areas that we need to improve? Where are the areas that we fell short? Where are the areas that um, took too much time? And so we could have a plan moving forward on how to eliminate these things in the future. Very invaluable. I highly recommend anybody that's a real estate investor implement these tactics into their business. So each transaction you'll visibly get a lot better in the future, and that comes with mentorship. All right, small strategic steps. Small. Start with manageable projects. Build momentum gradually. Do not bite off more than you could chew. Start with a smaller project, get used to the management process, get used to the acquisition process, get used to the inspection process on looking at the homes, understanding what all of these aspects of construction is necessary. Start off with just a kitchen, start off with a couple bathrooms, start off with managing projects like that with a full paint that doesn't require structural walls. That's the area that I would highly recommend for any new house flipper. Right, embracing calculated risk. So investing requires you to take risk. All right, but we want these risks to be calculated risks. Thoroughly research, dive into market trends and property values, uncover renovation costs. All right, so having and knowing what the renovation costs is going to be absolutely invaluable to you, because there might be some areas where you could shave off and save when unexpected things happen, but you have to be prepared to know and understand what that looks like. Knowing the property values and the market conditions, hoping that the market is not a slipping market, it's an improving market will be great. And if it is slipping, buying it right is going to be the most important thing that you can do. Having a contingency plan, prepare for the unexpected with financial safety nets. Delays happen. uh, Make sure when you're setting up the project and it's a house flip, you're factoring in about 6 month turnaround time. All right. That's a safe amount of time to acquire a property, do an extensive renovation, get it back on the market, and resell it in that time frame. All right. So shorter time frames are going to make it a pinch for you. Under promise and over deliver, especially when you're borrowing money. So factor in that 6 month timeline and then base your decisions based on that, depending on the size of the project. Decisive action. Avoid analysis paralysis. Trust the research and take the leap. The best way to describe this is take messy action. All right. Continue to take one step in front of the other. All right. When you have clarity that you need, ask questions. Ask questions to a mentor, ask questions to people that have done it before. And that's how you move the needle towards building a vision. The power of discipline, budget adherence, resist over improving properties, stay within market expectations. So, if you are a newer investor, I would not be taking on a flip that requires an addition right off the top, right? There's a number of variables that factor into that. Those sort of projects take a lot of time. It takes a lot of runway. It takes a lot of capital. And if it doesn't sell and you over improve the area, now you're in a danger zone where you can't get the sell price and you don't have a lot of exit strategies. So you have to be very careful there. All right. Proven process, a structured plan in your roadmap to success. Follow a diligent plan. So one of the things that we teach, and it's going to be very important for you guys, is having a specific design plan for your homes. All right. The reason why we prefer this method is because if you have leftover material, leftover tile, leftover flooring, if you have a specific design plan, we know that our next property is going to replicate the one before. So now this material that we ordered, we could also use on another project. So I would have storage for extra grout, extra tile, extra of the same thing that we normally use. So then now we are using some of the same items. That's called great planning. All right. So go focus. Keep emotions in check. Data driven decisions win the day. All right. So what does what does that mean? All right. So avoid making very emotional decisions based on the current environment because there could be some different stressors going on. There could be some life stress going on. There could be some project stress going on. There could be multiple things layered. Uh, um, it going on at the same time that creates this pressure. So making emotional decisions are going to you're going to need to avoid those. All right. So look at the numbers. What are the numbers telling you? What is the data telling you? If you need to take a haircut to release the property, those are the decisions you make, but you make it based on the numbers. Overcome roadblocks. Be prepared. Knowledge is power. The more you know, the less you fear. Absolutely. Get support, find people to help. A mentor can guide you when things get tough. Start small, don't swing for the fences at first. Take incremental steps to build your confidence. All of those are very great points, and making sure that you understand that. Risk mitigation strategies, research, market research, analyze local trends, understand the neighborhood. Understanding the neighborhood and what makes that particular area works. Understand the trends. Are people commuting? Are people working from home? Are is the area desirable? Are people migrating or moving into the area? All of these are going to be very important factors in understanding the market research. Property inspections, identify potential issues early, get a professional opinion. All right, so certain markets warrant sometimes putting in an offer, no inspection period, etc. Right, but whenever you can, as an investor and also an investor that sometimes may be using other people's money, it is required that you do your due diligence and in your fiduciary responsibility, you get an inspection so you know what you're walking into. And what that those inspections do sometimes is allow you to go back to the seller for some type of credit if it was something that was missed, and also protects you as well if the inspection missed something that you didn't catch as well. So it's very important that you get those inspections where you can. Financial planning, secure funding, create a detailed budget. So one of the things that we'll teach you is in our budget, we have a projected versus actual, and keeping a running total of what your numbers are coming in at versus your projected versus your actual. And are they green when on certain line items, or are they red? Are they consistently red? So you know how to adjust your numbers moving forward, right? So projected versus actual is going to be very important in your financial plan. Insurance coverage, all right, protect against unforeseen events, making sure you have builder's risk insurance. While projects are underway, most insurance companies will not insure the project while it's still incomplete. So having that builder's risk insurance is going to be important during your renovation. Discipline and action, budget tracking, which I touched on a little bit. Monitor expenses on a regular basis so you know how to adjust. Schedule management, all right. Set realistic timelines, avoid delays, all right. Can't be more important. You cannot afford to have contractors missing days on your project. Long term, those days will add up and it will go down to your bottom line. So staying on top of your team that are actually working on your project is going to be very important and is very avoidable as well. All right. So quality control, ensure high standards, don't cut corners. This was something that I had to learn the hard way. And I remember myself as a new investor, a new flipper, I would say to myself, I'm not going to live in it. So why would I improve it to this standard? It was the completely wrong way for longevity that I was looking at that particular at that time, right? My mindset shift, all right? And it shifted to don't take your eye off the ball. I am a representative of this particular product, and I want it to be represented in a certain type of way that people will speak highly about the work that I do, and then people will speak highly about the type of homes that I put out, not the type of homes that are going to be falling apart after we sell them. That's not going to be the way to make your money and make your way inside real estate investing. All right, mindset shift from optimistic when you first start out, everything looks good, to you go through some challenge. Now you have to build some resilience. All right, so now you got that experience, you've gone through some hurdles, and now it's some resilience, and then now adaptability. All right, so now you've built some resistance. Now you understand what this looks like. You understand what some of these hurdles are going to look like, but you got to continue to work and push through it. And then patience. Sometimes getting through a project, allowing it to sell, allow it to do what it's supposed to do. You made all of the assumptions, you did all the proper steps, you did the things the way that you're supposed to, and then now it's patience and wait for the close. Building confidence through education. So some of the books, reading books has really expanded my knowledge. So some of the books that I would recommend is Profit First, Rich Dad Poor Dad, which was really the one that got me started and really kind of had my mind going on what a real estate investor is. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend you reading that book. Another book that I really love is 10x is easier than 2x. It talking about expansion and how you look at things versus incremental growth. All right, so diving into certain books that are real estate related or mindset related are going to be vital in your expansion. Courses, very similar to this one, making sure that you're taking a course to expand your knowledge, to get nuggets. All right. So when I started learning, my mindset really shift to I just want one additional nugget. Doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter the conference. Doesn't matter the seminar. Doesn't matter the course. I want one additional nugget that I can take and I can implement right away. So those are the types of things that you need to calibrate your mind for and understand as well. Seminars, network with professionals, and stay up to date. Whatever the seminar is, whether it's investing related, whether it's construction related, whether it's design related, right? All of these things have factored in to help me be the best version of myself when it comes to real estate investing, and also making the best decisions possible to value engineer things at certain times. All right, financial discipline for flippers. All right. So you primarily make your money on the buy. All right. So there's the 70% rule. You purchase the property, 70% of the value minus the construction, and that's your maximum allowable offer for that property, right? So there might be some adjustments that you could make depending on the market conditions, but if you stay within that, it gives you options when it's time to sell, right? If there's a shift in the marketplace, you're still safe. You could break even. You could do some different you could do a lease option, you could rent it out. It is a bunch of different options that you have at your disposal when you buy it right. When you don't buy it right, then things get very tight for you. So we're going to be very disciplined in understanding we have to buy the property right. Renovation costs, having those tight and not just squeezing them into a particular number because a hope and a dream. Holding, having the proper hold time, and then selling it for profit is going to be important there. All right, the power of networking, finding the proper realtor, right? So a lot of times what happens is it could be very good for you to decide to just get licensed as a realtor. What are advantages of doing that? Right. If you look at a property and it's on the market, you get that commission on the front side. I know for me, my wife got licensed as a realtor, so then now we keep it in the family, right? So when we close on the front side, she gets that commission. We can apply that towards the renovation costs, and then when we sell, she gets that commission as well. But now it's a more of a reduced commission that we structure in a way for the representation, right? So then now if there was an area that we needed to cut, fortunately, but unfortunately, that would be an area that we would cut because um at the end of the day, the investor is the one that's supposed to make the lion's share of the money, and that's a way of protecting it. But if that scenario is not present for you, getting the right realtor that's going to find and locate the deal, have the proper relationships to dispo the deal, is going to be very important for you as well. All right. Hire a contractor. A local contractor can ensure the quality work and a fair price. All right. So we're going to go through a lot of systems when it comes to hiring a contractor, executing on the questionnaire, making sure he gets all of this information to you, structuring your contract in a way that doesn't leave you high and dry as the investor. We're going to be going through a lot of things when it comes to contractor hiring, so you're equipped in that area. Finding an investor, find someone local who can help guide you. So the way I look at investor is partners on the deal. So how are you going to structure this deal so it's a win-win for not just you but also the investor? All right, is the investor going to be 50-50 partners? Are they going to put up all of the cash? Are you going to put up the renovation costs? Are you going to sign a note and give them a guarantee on the funds based on the time that it's out? There's a bunch of different ways that you can structure a loan for a particular deal when it comes to investors. And you're going to have to determine the way that you want to set that up. And we're going to cover that as well. Strategic planning, a step-by-step guide. Property research, identify and having systems and SOPs for that. Systems and SOPs for due diligence, conduct thorough inspections, having a SOP for that. Renovation, having your preliminary checklist for renovations and the things that need to be done there, having those checklists for that. And then marketing and sales, having to attract buyers and retaining those lists, having those SOPs are going to be very strategic. We operate in a system and we have a systematic approach, and that's the way that you need to look at anything house flipping related. Flippers toolkit. Some of the things that you're going to need, right? So, for example, all right, you don't need to get your hands dirty, but it's always going to be good to have these certain tools for certain things. Sometimes we need to just get things done ourselves, and sometimes it's easier, especially when budgets come into play, to have certain tools. All right, so critical for basics is having a hammer, a level to know and understand if things are plumb, a measuring tape to measure the space and know how much square footage of stuff to purchase and not purchase, etc. A screwdriver to make adjustments. All right. Key takeaways: mindset matters. Your mindset is going to be very important to cultivate a positive mindset, a resilient attitude, and making sure that you're going to be the biggest asset to this project, and making sure that you're thinking about it correctly is going to be very important. Knowledge is power. Continue to educate yourself, read, be a student of the game. All right, discipline drives success. Stay focused, follow the plan, do not deviate from the plan. All right. And then that was lesson 2. Get your mindset right for real estate investing.